What's up, Bree? What's up, Bree? What's up, Bree? What's up, Bree? What's up, Bree?
Hey, what's up, y'all? We're back with another action figure review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Gamerverse Psylocke and Thanos 2-pack. Mostly, this is just going to be a Psylocke review. Don't nobody see anyone to talk about Thanos, but I didn't have him in my collection, so I do welcome him with open arms. I'll talk about him a little later on. By now, everybody and their grandmother has done a review on this 2-pack, so I figure I probably won't do any numbers on it, but it don't matter. I'm just going to talk about her anyway. And I want to start by saying I love Psylocke. She's freaking wonderful. In fact, I'm noticing that she's a fan favorite amongst many different parts of this community. But when I say love, I'm talking top 4 X-Men characters period. Gambit, Psylocke, Nightcrawler, and Blink. And why do I like her so much? I don't know, man. I think it's a collection of her name, Psylocke. That's a cool name. Her abilities, the pink power, the psychic moves, the teleporting. She's a ninja. I love the blue. I love the design of her outfit. Probably one of the hottest in the video game universe. In my opinion, I pick her over Chun-Li. And in the game Marvel vs. Capcom, I used to pick her all the time. After 2,468 years, we're finally getting this particular version of Psylocke. I'm kind of surprised that Marvel Legends did it, really, because usually their female bodies, I don't know, man, I tend to stay away from them. They're definitely too scrawny, so the new type of body is definitely going in the right direction. Please, Psylocke, give me a chance. I'm about to give you a ring. Which one do you want? For your accessories, so I think Psylocke here comes with a decent spread of accessories. She's got 3 side effects, 2 different heads to choose from, and a couple hands. She does come with 2 different head sculpts. I appreciate the option. I like the print, and nice and clean and crisp, but it looks like they went more for like a movie version of her. Like, she looks like that one actress that played in that one X-Men movie, rather than the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 version, which is the version I would have preferred, honestly. But that purple application looks so good, and I love the way her hair is sculpted. As you might imagine, it will severely impact her articulation. And for some reason it attracts a lot of dust and particles, but I do like the neutral head sculpt. This one is not as exciting to me. I think the other one looks a little closer to Marvel vs. Capcom, but I can look at this face sculpt and say she's oriental, so that's kind of cool. She does come with 2 Shadow Clone Jutsu hands, and I like that she comes with those. She definitely uses that gesture a lot in the game. Then for the rest of her hands, she didn't get a matching gesture for the alternate side. And you know what? I'll never understand why companies do that. Like, is it really that much more money to give us an alternate side? Like, that's so odd. By now, we should all have at least one sword in our collection, right? You might have to make some sacrifices, but my, she look good with a sword. And then we have 2 of her energy effects, and man, this is up in the standard for Marvel Legends. These energy effects look wonderful, and it might not look like it to the naked eye, but these 2 aren't the same scope. The differences are subtle, but I do love that saturation for that pink. You can see certain spots of it looks like a clear or more clearish pink, so I do like that it's not just one solid color, and the design looks really cool too. It does look like some type of psychic type of plasma, but it's a little tricky to get her to hold these accessories. It's all soft plastic, so it will flex. If you look on the other side, it almost looks like there's an impression of the way her hands are facing into the plastic, so you just slide her hand in just like that and slip the 2 fingers under the pink. And then the other way I like to do it is these effects I think have corresponding hands, so there's an impression on the other side too, and then there's these 2 little clip pieces at the bottom, so you just kind of wedge that in between her wrist, which doesn't hold the effect that well, but that's another way you can kind of do it, so you pretty much on your own with that. She also comes with her butterfly energy effect, and it's kind of the same situation with that. You kind of gotta wedge it. There are like 2 slots on the side of her screaming head sculpt. It's a little tricky to point out, but you gotta wedge it in between there. It doesn't really hold that well, but once you got it in there, you can kind of keep it there for a while. Lastly, she does come with her side thrust energy effect, probably the most simplest design of them all. I like how it just clamps around the wrist. I think the fist hand is probably the best hand you could use for this one, but it's a really nice effect. And I didn't talk about this earlier, but obviously you can tell there are quite a few spots on her that could have used another paint like her skin tone. And what kind of guy would I be if I didn't take a minute to talk about these glutes, that chub on her institute? You know what, I might have to come up with a whole nother account and just talk about toy. But yeah, lots of quality control issues. That other thigh looks gross. Even where her shoulder blades could be, you can see at the same line where they had some blue poking through, so that definitely could have used a couple more paints to that white. But the sculpting for her legs looks really good. I love the muscle definition to it. So when it comes to her look, I think she looks gorgeous, and that shade of blue with the finish, it just serenades me, but it's not accurate, so I'm gonna give her an 8.5 for her look. For the accessories, given the price this 2-pack came at, man, it was pretty pricey. I think Psylocke should have had a set of hands for each gesture, and ooh, don't get me started on on Thanos. So I'm gonna give them a combined rating for the accessories of 7.9. For your articulation, so Psylocke here comes in that Black Widow body I've heard so many great things about, but I never had the chance to get, and I'm here to tell you that body is okay. It's not all that, honestly. As you can see, of course, her hair is definitely gonna limit a lot of that head movement. She can't look up at all. There's a shift motion due to that double ball joint at her head, but you can't really do much about it. She's got some decent arms though. I really like that. Nice little bend at the double joint for the elbows. You can't get a full rotation at those shoulders. You can't get a full rotation at the upper torso. That joint does not do anything for her ab crunch, though if you do combine that hinge at the bottom, she gets some pretty decent ab crunch going forward, so that's pretty good. She's got some decent movement going backwards too, not bad. Still not the biggest fan of a hinge for an ab crunch, but she does have some decent movement at those legs. You go too far, it does start to curve out, and look at that curve right there for that thigh swivel. That does look really bad. I wish some more time was invested in kind of designing it a little bit better. Because of the bundle, she can't get her legs to go backwards at all, but that's a happy trade-off. She can get some nice little split movement right there, so I'll take that. Not too shabby at the knees, and one of the biggest disappointments in her articulation besides her head movement and that ab crunch is going to be no swivel at those ankles. I know some people don't mind no swivel at the ankles, but I need it. Give it to me. Stop holding back. Also, her ankle rock is at a really bad angle, so you better off using that up and down motion and just using the stand. And just in case you guys didn't see that upper torso movement again, I'll show you guys once more. As you can see, it's not really too much going on with it. I was pretty disappointed when I first got it. I tried to put the McFarlane cuts on it, and I don't know, maybe my water wasn't hot enough, but yo, that joint, that top part was not disconnecting from that hinge. And I couldn't call this a review if I didn't talk about Mr. Thanos right quick, and he is looking really good. Honestly, I don't understand what all the hate is for. I guess everybody already had Thanos, but this is my first Thanos figure. If I ever get another Thanos figure, he's gonna have to have a boot rotation. I was really shocked when I realized he did not have one. And honestly, I like this figure despite what the critics say. I love his bulkiness. I love the color they chose, that macaroni color. It does look accurate to the game, and it's a flexible piece at his shoulder, so it will get out the way. If you look real close, it almost looks like some type of metallic. It's kind of sparkly right there. You can't get his arms all the way around, and that ankle rocker is even worse than Psylocke's. That's horrendous. He's got no butterfly joint. Because of the bulkiness at his biceps, you're not going to get much of a curve right there either, but overall, I'd say he's a pretty decent figure, and this head movement is not too bad actually, despite the fact that he can't really look down that much, so given his height, that would have been nice if he could do that. Honestly, I wish this Thanos would have been released as maybe a deluxe type of figure, because when it comes to the accessories, he really doesn't come with much. They definitely skimped on Thanos. He just comes with one alternate hand, the Infinity Gauntlet finger snapping hand, so that's a necessary accessory, but I wish he would have came with some open splayed out hands and at least an alternate head. For your size comparisons, here we have it next to your SH Figuarts TN, your SH Figuarts Street Fighter Guile, your Classified Series Sergeant Slaughter, and your Hasbro Marvel Legends Lady Deathstrike. Next, here we have it next to your SH Figuarts Chun-Li, your Mafex Psylocke, and honestly, I'm hoping Mafex would tackle the figure like this. As long as they get the proportions right, maybe update her thigh swivel, I would love that. Your Jada Toys, Cammy, and your CT Toys, Wolverine. And lastly, here we have it next to your Soda Toys and Bison, your Jada Toys, Mega Man, your Buzzmaw City Hunter figure, and your Kotobukiya Zero Model Kit. Final thoughts on the Marvel Legends Gamerverse Psylocke vs Thanos 2-pack. Do I think this 2-pack is worth it? Honestly, if you find it in store, I would say yeah, I think this 2-pack is worth it. But online, man, I don't know, them prices are kind of steep. Psylocke has quite a few spots on her that needs a touch up of paint, and luckily I think I have the paint for the job, but I'm a little annoyed I'm gonna have to go back and do that. Thanos, not so much. There was one spot on him, but overall he looked pretty good. But you know what I didn't mention? When I'm picking up this Psylocke figure, I noticed she feels a lot different than the other Marvel Legends females I played with. Like, her joints seem a little bit more sturdy, like she feels more import. Maybe it's the size of her body, her proportions, I don't know, she feels really good. So in light of all that, I'm gonna give them an 8 for their quality. If no company ever puts out another Thanos, I think I'd say that I'm content with this figure, but if I ever do buy another one, he's gonna have at least 2 ball pegs at that torso as well as a boot swivel. But this figure is pretty fun, and I'm happy I got him. Honestly, I'm just happy to be around while this Marvel vs. Capcom Street Fighter wave is hitting the market. If you're looking for this 2-pack and you have not yet got your hands on it, stay strong, comrade. And don't forget to search your local targets, because ultimately I will recommend these figures. Final score, I'm gonna give them an 8. Alright y'all, that's the video. I'd love a like. If not, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.